Today at Pickup Limes, we are going to stock up on a whole bunch of goodies. And if you're new around here, hi, I'm Sadia. Cooking wholesome meals and choosing nourishing snacks is a lot easier when we keep our pantry stocked with healthy staples. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 items that I personally categorize as essential in my pantry, but of course you're free to choose the items that you think you'll enjoy and actually use. I've also created a PDF I think you might be interested in. This PDF includes 20 nutrition tips for wholesome living and eating. There's both a comprehensive grocery shopping list as well as a basic grocery shopping list for any newbies. There's a grocery shopping list with ideas for themed dinner nights, and there's also recipe substitution lists and several cooking conversion charts. I think it's something you just might be interested in going to check out for yourself, so if you want to get your own free copy, be sure to check the link in the description box just down below. And of course, this grocery shopping list does include the various pantry essentials I'm going to cover with you in this video, in addition to some other things I'm not going to cover in this video. But for now, let's just get started. I go nuts for this stuff. Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, almonds, pecans, cashews, peanuts, hazelnuts, pine nuts, you name it, and I want it. Now, I go easy on the amount of oil that I use because I'd rather get my fats from whole food sources, things like nuts and seeds, in addition to like avocados and olives and things like that. These offer way more nutrients and fiber. I mean, the whole food stuff can never be beat. Now here's a tip. If you're anything like me and you like to buy these things in bulk because you use them often, try to keep most of it in the freezer, that way it doesn't go rancid, and keep just a small amount that you're going to need for a short period of time on hand in your pantry. Now while we're talking about nuts and seeds, what's a wholesome breakfast or delicious snack without some kind of nut or seed butter? I love including some nut butter in my morning oats or as a snack with my crackers or fresh fruit to dip. And don't forget about tahini. It's a sesame seed butter and I'm a sucker for this stuff. Adding tahini to salads as a dressing or a drizzle on top of pizza, or of course making some hummus with it. Here's a tip. Try to buy 100% peanut butter instead of the kinds with added oils and sugars. It tastes way better anyway, and although it can be kept in your pantry, I would recommend storing all your nut and seed butters in the fridge once it's opened to keep it fresh for longer. Is there anything quite as filling and comforting as some warm whole grains at a meal? To make sure that you're choosing the more wholesome choices as opposed to the white stuff, just make sure that you have it readily on hand. These are foods like brown rice, wild rice, steel-cut oats or regular oats, barley, as well as quinoa and millet, even though those last two are technically seeds, but let's not go there. And you want to know one whole grain that you probably didn't know was a whole grain and it's a load of fun to have? Popcorn! Who thought snacking could be so nutritious? Now here's a tip. Want your grains to cook faster? Soak them in the morning before you leave. This will cut down your cooking time by about half in the evening. I use bouillon cubes in two different ways. The first is in soups, of course, because I couldn't imagine my life without the comfort and warmth and nutrition offered by a warm bowl of vegetable or lentil soup. But the second way I use it is by adding it to the grains that I mentioned previously to give it some extra flavor. So here's a tip. If you feel like you've tried brown rice in the past and you just haven't enjoyed it, try crushing a vegetable bouillon cube into the water when it's cooking. This might change your perspective on enjoying the more wholesome types of grains. And it is a tip that I've used to help convert many people into enjoying more brown rice instead of white rice. Beans, beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel, so beans, beans at every meal. Yep, this song is stuck in my head every single time I go to buy beans or lentils for the pantry. I'm crazy, I know. There are two ways I stock up on various beans and lentils. One is in the dry bulk form, and the other is in cans or jars. I try to make my own from scratch whenever I can, but the pre-cooked versions are super helpful when I'm in a rush. It's a great way to get extra fiber, extra protein, extra antioxidants into our diets. That's for sure. So here's a tip. Lentils are perfect for quick and easy meals and take only about 15 to 20 minutes to cook compared to beans, which of course take much longer. And another tip, if you've chosen to use canned or jarred beans instead, make sure to first rinse it under water before adding it to your meal to drain away any salt or compounds that might make you gassy. I am a fresh fruit junkie. Oh boy, I could have fresh fruit at any time of the day. But sometimes I'm looking for something that offers a fair bit of sweetness, but I don't want to use sugar or maple syrup or agave syrup, but I still want all of the nutrients that come from having things like fruits. I mean, you still want the fiber and the antioxidants and all that goodness. And this is where dried fruits come into play. It's perfect to incorporate into snacks for an extra antioxidant boost, or include it in your desserts or your granola for some extra natural sweetness. Try dried fruits like goji berries, dates, dried cranberries, dried figs, and raisins. Oh, so yum. Like I said, I love the fresh stuff, but we're human after all, and sometimes we can be in a rush. And as a result, our nutrition should never suffer. So I get that washing, peeling, and chopping vegetables can be time-consuming sometimes. So this is where canned vegetables come into play. These are things like canned tomatoes, peas, or corn. So when you're in a rush, don't forgo the veggies. Just add a jar of this stuff to up the nutrition of any meal. Creamy curries and coconut soups. Love me some coconut milk. So if you're trying to transition off of cream or milk, or maybe you just want to use less, or maybe you just want to try something new, then coconut milk is where it's at. It'll give your dishes a more tropical or ethnic taste without you even needing to get on a plane. Vinegars are great to add to any sauces, dressings, dips, or condiments, especially if you're somebody who's trying to decrease your salt intake. They offer a very sharp flavor, and it also offers kind of more depth of flavor to any dish that you add it to. The vinegars that I have in my pantry are apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, and rice vinegar. Of course, you don't need to use all of these, just choose the ones you think you'll use and enjoy. Cooking with herbs and spices adds so much flavor to your dish without needing to add any extra oil or salt or sugar or unnecessary calories. It will seriously spice up your life, and that pun was so intended. My go-tos for spices are onion powder, paprika powder, turmeric, curry powder, ground cumin, garam masala, cinnamon, basil, oregano, and garlic powder. But I have way more than that in my arsenal. And don't let this scare you off. If you're new to spices, you certainly don't need to have everything that I have. If you get your copy of the PDF in the description box below, I share with you the long list of spices that I personally have, but also a list of spices I would deem more essential for anybody who's new to buying a few spices. Now here's another tip as well. Try to buy your spices at ethnic stores like Chinese, Indian, Persian, or Turkish shops. They tend to offer more bang for your buck, and I find the flavors are more intense when bought here. And there you have it, some tips and inspiration to help you get started on stocking your pantry. That way you'll be having some more wholesome meals and healthy snacks in no time. Of course, be sure to also get your copy of the PDF for grocery shopping list and pantry essentials, which can be found in the description box just down below. All right, that's it for Pickup Limes for today. You know the drill. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!